Welcome back, everyone. Hope your weekend's going good. Today we are doing my way too early NASCAR's 2023 season predictions on who will make the playoffs. The clash is later today by the time this video goes live. So let's find out who's in and who's out and how wrong I will be later this year. Starting off in no particular orders. First, I believe we will have defending champion Joey Logano returning to the playoffs. The reason I think this is he's the defending champ. He's honestly the best car at Penske. Won the title twice for Penske. Nothing's really changing. He keeps Paul Wolf, so 22's in. Next, Chase Elliott. Yes, being a Hendrick fan, I wouldn't be surprised if all four make it. Might watch the video, find out if I really do. But Chase Elliott's kind of the ace in the hole for Hendrick. 2023, he did slouch, it was kind of a off season after winning the title in 2022, but we'll see. Nothing's really changed with the 9 car. Yeah, Kyle Larson's the better driver, but I do see Chase being in the playoffs and getting a win. Speaking of Kyle Larson, third, I believe he will make it too. Since leaving Chip Ganassi and joining Hendrick Motorsports, Kyle Larson has just been on fire. Last year, he didn't win the 10 races like he did in his first year with Hendrick, but he wasn't going to keep that up. But nothing's really changed with the 5 car. He keeps Cliff Daniels as his crew chief. The combination's good. They won a couple races last year, so don't be surprised if the 5 car's in. Next, I have Ross Chastain making it. The Melon Man. Now, the reason I see Ross making it is his aggressive racing style. We saw the Hail Melon, which is now banned, and Ross is just one of the aggressive drivers that he will do whatever to win. We saw that at COTA. He was third with AJ Allmendinger and Alex Bowman. He just dive bombed in to get the first win for Trackhouse. So if I had to pick between him and Daniel Suarez, Ross would be in. So I wouldn't be surprised with no changes on that 1 car for Ross to be in. Going back to Hendrick, who I think is going to be emerging, especially after winning 2 races early last year and them kind of falling off, is William Byron in the 24. Now, they after the first 8 races last year, Byron kind of just disappeared. But I think it was more they were trying to build for the playoffs. Now him and Ray Fuga, they've definitely have clicked since coming together. So I don't see Byron being a contender. But he did finish 6th last year in the standings. So you can't argue he's going to play a factor in it. The next driver I see making it, and honestly, wouldn't be surprising if he won early. He's going to a new team. He's everyone's favorite villain, moving from the 18 to the now 8 of Richard Childress Racing. I got Kyle Busch. Now, I'm not a big Kyle Busch fan. And I think that's just because of how he rubbed everyone the wrong way. But it's his racing style. And last year, he struggled. He got that 1 win, but it wasn't the dominant Kyle Busch we saw. I think moving over to Richard Childress, to Chevy Power, which honestly has been decent since the next gen cars have come out. Don't be surprised if Kyle Busch is a multi-winner. Bold prediction here, I could see Kyle Busch winning within the first 5 races. They come out of the gate strong. I really think Kyle is going to set the world on fire to prove that has he still has it. Speaking of the 8 car, the driver moving from the 8 car to replacing Kurt Busch in the 45, I have Tyler Reddick in it. Now, Tyler Reddick, he did amazing last year in the 8. He honestly overperformed for what Richard Childress Racing was known for. He won 3 times last year. Like, Tyler Reddick is a beast. And I really think moving to 2311, where, okay, it's him and Bubba. Like, yeah, Bubba's going to be Jordan and Denny's favorite because he's the first driver. But Tyler is going to show what that equipment can actually do. So I have Tyler Reddick making it. Next on my list, I have the 4 car. The good old Kevin Harvick, Happy Harvick, the closer. Now, Harvick, I'm hoping can be a multi-winner, like a multi-win driver this year. The reason is I want him to have the storybook ending. Being a Gordon fan, that was perfect. Him winning at Martinsville and going to the Homestead at the time. It did suck that they weren't competitive. But with it being at Phoenix, even though Harvick was better at Old Phoenix, I could see the storybook ending for Harvick. They won last year at Michigan, so that was great for him. I think that was Stewart Haas's only one last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Stewart Haas definitely has a lot to gain. Next on the list, probably the only Joe Gibbs entry this year is the number 11 of Denny Hamlin. Why do I say Denny Hamlin is the only one Joe Gibbs car in? The reason is Denny's a great driver. He came on late last year to really get himself momentum to the playoffs by winning at the Coke 600 for a second one. He won at Richmond. Like, he did well. But as I'll explain my honorable mentions, his teammates, I don't have faith in them. And I see other drivers getting wins. Remember last year, only one driver qualified by points. Moving on from Denny, we have another Penske driver, the number 12 of Ryan Blaney. Last year, Ryan Blaney pointed his way in. Got lucky. He got very lucky pointing his way in. Blaney won a couple races the year before. He's a fan favorite. Love his podcast. He's definitely going to be competitive, but he's got to prove it. He's got to win. Pointing your way in is amazing, but at the same time, like 15 different winners entering the playoffs, and we had new winners once the playoffs started. Like, you gotta go. You gotta win, buddy. Next on my list, the hottest driver, I want to say once the playoffs started, and who I'm hoping can keep the momentum up, Chase Briscoe. Chase, like, turned it on once the playoffs started. He was doing well. He went from having to make his way in the round of 16 to advance to the round of 12. On the round of 12, he had to do the same thing. Be consistent. Be there at the end to making it to the round of 8. Unfortunately, he didn't make it to the round of 4. He was close. But, like, he beat out Kyle Larson for the round of 8. Don't be surprised if Ryan Briscoe can win. Especially with him being a road course specialist. Like, hell, he won at Phoenix last year. We know he's good at the road courses. Don't be surprised. Next on the list, a driver I believe I skipped over from Hendrick, the 48 of Alex Bowman. The reason I waited so long to mention Alex is it's a contract year. He doesn't have a contract with Hendrick next year. I love Bowman. I love that he's the first driver to finish in first through 43rd. Every single spot he finished in. And just like the story when he went to replace Junior, he was working as a telemarketer. I really enjoyed Bowman. He won at Vegas. Like, compared to the COVID year when he won 2 races early and then never regained. It being a contract year, I can see him doing better just because make it or break it. You don't know what's going to happen after next year. The next driver I see making it is Daniel Suarez. Now, I was torn between Suarez and some other drivers. The reason I'm going Suarez, he won at Sonoma. He's competitive. And with his teammate, Ross Chastain, being so much better in that equipment, Suarez got to prove it this year. Yeah, he got his first win last year. Suarez has skills to make it. At the same time, he's got to prove it. Now, I have some new drivers that were not in the chase last year. Let me talk about the drivers that I'm having bumped out. Christopher Bell. Now, the reason I don't have Christopher Bell making it this year is I like Christopher. He's great. But it's only like he has Adam Stevens, Kyle Busch's old crew chief. Christopher Bell, won 3. Made it to the final 4. But I think because they made it to the final 4, I don't know if Christopher can keep that up. He got hot towards the end. Don't get me wrong, like cool seeing Joe Gibbs have competitive cars. But like both of Bell's victories came on the elimination race. He won at the Roval, and he won at Martinsville. And his only win during the regular season was at New Hampshire. So, as much as I'm wanting to put him in, the past few years, New Hampshire's has been a coin flip, honestly. Like, anyone, like, Almirola won it 2 years ago. I just feel like we're going to have different winners. So, I feel like Christopher Bell is going to be that one that's going to be knocking on the door and should have made the playoffs, but just misses. Now, the other Joe Gibbs car, Martin Truex Jr. I really wanted to put Martin in, being that he turns 43 in June. Like, might retire, might not. But I think with him and Sherry's his relationship ending, I feel like that's going to take a toll on him. Like, as much as he gets to focus more on his racing, I feel like, and he should. At the same time, like, how much is like that the emotional side of it gonna affect him? And don't get me wrong, like Truex get to Richmond, he's always a contender. But it just relationship's hard to not like a hard thing to get over, especially if you really cared for that person and they were together for so long. Now, Austin Cindric made the playoffs last year, but he made the playoffs because he won the Daytona 500. Other than that, Cindric really wasn't up front much besides the road courses. And as good as Cindric can be, I personally don't see him making it. And you might not agree, especially with like Christopher Bell making the final. Like, understand, like I would love for them to make it, but just Cindric only won the Daytona 500. He didn't win again, and the 500 was a crapshoot. So it's like, would he have made it the past year? No, that win made it that he could be in playoffs. Austin Dillon, good old Austin Dillon. As much as I would love to see the 3 in again, Austin Dillon was not competitive. He won Daytona. He can win the Super Speedway races, but at the same time, everywhere else he's running 20th. Like he's nowhere near where he needs to be. So because of that, I don't see him making it either. So with that, I have 3 drivers. I mean, 3 spots to fill. One of them's a new driver. That's actually one of them's being called back up. Ryan Preece. The reason I think Ryan Preece can be competitive is because he's running Stuart Haas. Stuart Haas was way better than JTG Doherty. I think Ryan Preece can elevate the 41 car. Now, does that mean I think he's going to make a deep playoff run? No. I just think with him having the backing of other sponsors, like we're still going to see the Haas CNC car, but him bringing in other outside sponsors to help fund that car is going to elevate him. And no offense to Cole Custer. Cole Custer's an amazing driver, but I feel like Ryan Preece has more experience. I think Cole going back to Xfinity, he's going to be able to refocus on himself, grow, and when Harvick retires next year, or even on Raw, he can jump back in and be confident. Because besides Cole's win at Kentucky, it almost seems like he's deflated because the car is not as good as it should. Next driver, so number 15, making his return to full-time racing, driving the number 16 Kaulig car, AJ Allmendinger. The Dinger is back to full-time racing. Now, I'm looking at Kaulig's okay. They're decent. But I believe with how many road courses are on this schedule, and Allmendinger being competitive in Xfinity, winning multiple races, he's gonna bring that experience back with him from the Cup, from the Xfinity Series to the Cup. He's gonna do well. He's gonna win a road course, get the 16 car in. So don't be surprised. Final driver. We have like our pick. We could go like Ty Gibbs driving the 54 was the 18, but I'm not a big fan of Ty. Ty needs to show he's more mature for me to give him benefit of the doubt and for him to be good in my eyes. Like he's running great equipment, but when he subbed for Kurt, he didn't do well, so he's out. Noah Gragson driving that 42 Legacy car, first year up. We did see him replace Bowman in that 48. He did the same thing as Ty. Not really competitive. So Noah's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a cool battle for the rookie of the year between those two. But I can't see the 42 making it. Eric Jones. I wanted to put the Michigan native in so much. I so wanted to put the 43 into the playoffs. I just couldn't. they're making strides. They are making it. And if Eric Jones makes it, it's gonna be a super speedway. He knows how to run, how to keep that car clean. So don't be surprised with the 43 making it. Justin Haley. Between Justin Haley and the driver I have in 16th, it was close. I really was looking at Justin Haley going, he's won before in a rain shortened race. Colley's going to be stepping their game up having 2 full-time cars. Don't be surprised Justin Haley is up there competing for wins. But the driver I have in 16 is none other than Michigan native Keselowski. So you might be wondering, why do I have a Roush Fenway Keselowski car making it when neither car were really competitive? Well, Brad K is always fast. Last year they got out of the gate slow. He's trying to turn over a leaf of what Roush used to be. And remember, they got slammed with a 150-point penalty to start the year. Like, they were in the hole to start the year. And ended up 20th in points, I believe. I mean, no, 24th, my bad. Like, he dug it way out. 6 of his top 10 finishes last year. 3 of them came in the final 10 races. That team was turning around. The 17 was competitive. So I think team owner Brad Keselowski will be the 16th driver here to make it. As much as I look at this list and go, I'm taking a few long shots. I feel like this is a good list. A list I don't mind putting my name on. Now, we saw 15 different winners last year. Like, a few of these definitely a long shot. A few of these make sense. And I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong. But hey, that's the point of this video, is to be to be bold, to make predictions, and hell, who knows who's actually gonna make it? For all we know, some of the guys I listed up here at the top might not be in it. We'll find out in about 40 weeks. But thank you for making it this far into the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe. I will be doing a race review of the Clash tomorrow. That'll be fun. So, I'll catch you all later. Peace.